Welcome back to Mythology's Monsters. Today, we dive into the strange mythos surrounding a cosmic being that predates the very existence of our universe, Cthulhu. As the legend goes, eons upon eons ago, there existed only the blackness of the void. Then the outer gods were born, inconceivably powerful deities that lurked in the gulfs between the stars. One such entity was the cosmic primordial Cthulhu. Cthulhu roamed the cosmos aimlessly until finally settling on the planet Vorel in the 23rd nebula. There, Cthulhu spawned a race of offspring simply known as the Star Spawn. Born directly from Cthulhu's black cosmic seed, these creatures were made in his terrifying image. Twisted reflections of their master, the Star Spawn possess unknowable physiologies that drive mortals to madness and despair. For ages unknown, Cthulhu and his star spawn dwelled on Vorel. That is until they became restless and began hungering for a new world to occupy. The star spawn whispering depraved ambitions to their dark lord. Bidding farewell to Vorel, Cthulhu embarked on another migration across the cosmos alongside his star spawn. Their voyage through space brought them to Zoth, a distant star blazing bright azure that perpetually boiled the surrounding sky. In this chaotic system, Cthulhu mated with a cosmic spawn of still more primordial origins. Their sinister coupling spawned even more horrific offspring to add to Cthulhu's hideous cosmic brood. Eventually, after spawning his second wave of followers, Cthulhu set his cosmic sights on Earth's galaxy, descending first upon Saturn, where he and his spawn established a stronghold within the planet's icy rings. But they did not linger there long, as the lush, life-filled planet known as Earth soon drew Cthulhu closer. The Great Old One's legions were anxious to spread across yet another promising new world full of realities to twist and subvert. When Cthulhu arrived on Earth 250 million years ago during the late Permian period, he found the planet dominated by an antediluvian alien race called the Elder Things. Creatures of immense psychic and scientific might, they had settled Earth eons before Cthulhu's arrival and claimed ownership over the entire globe. Seeing Earth as their sovereign territory, the Elder Things denounced Cthulhu as an intruder and demanded he leave. But blinded by conquest, Cthulhu unleashed his star spawn in attack against these elder beings. Though weakly built, the Elder Things possessed incredible technology and mental powers, and their psychic abilities had been honed over epochs of solitary evolution on countless far-flung worlds before settling Earth. They met the invading star spawn head-on, driving Cthulhu back to the Pacific Ocean through attrition warfare. There, the Great Old One constructed an underwater city, the abhorrent corpse city called Laya, to serve as his stronghold and regroup his dark legions. From Laya, Cthulhu and his spawn once again attempted to swarm out and retake Earth from the stubborn Elder Things now committed to their eradication. For nearly 140 million years, the two species fought across the globe, unleashing destruction that boiled away oceans and nearly extinguished all terrestrial life itself. The Elder Things proved formidable foes for Cthulhu's forces. Though incapable of truly destroying a cosmic entity like the Great Old One himself, their incredibly advanced technologies and psychic abilities still managed to repulse Cthulhu from established Elder Thing strongholds. The Cthulhu cult on Earth whispered among mankind that it was the Elder Things who created the moon during this conflict, tearing it from the Earth itself to serve as a cosmic artillery platform, raining down attacks against Laya and any opening to strike back at loathsome Cthulhu himself. There it still sits, a constant reminder to the Great Old One of his defeat. After eons of warring, losses piled too great for either side to readily sustain conflict. Cthulhu and the Elder Things agreed to a tentative truce. By this point, even Cthulhu had grown exhausted from endless combat against the elder beings, matching his ancient evil at every turn. The two Eldritch forces agreed to territory, defining ownership over specific regions across the globe for each race. The planet then knew a period of relative stability as Cthulhu reseeded with most of his spawn back to the corpse halls of Laya, and the Elder Things focused on their own mysterious purposes in rebuilding their technical wonders anew. Though still bitter over the long stalemate, Cthulhu and his star spawn bided their time, brooding and breeding, knowing that in the eons to come, humanity would eventually arise. The Elder Things meanwhile became increasingly focused inward, attending to their own alien priorities, and were oblivious to nascent mankind's vulnerability. Especially oblivious that even while slumbering and nursing his wounds beneath his waves-pounded crypt in R'lyeh, Cthulhu projected his consciousness and influence through the dreaming minds of shaman and madmen up upon the surface lands. Slowly he recruited new worshippers into his apocalyptic cult. These devotees worked in secret, passed down through generations, preparing humanity for the great day when Cthulhu would reawaken stronger than ever for his final vengeful war against the hated Elder Things. The fateful alignment of the cosmos finally came in the early 20th century when cosmic upheaval raised the sunken nightmare corpse city R'lyeh up from the dark ocean depths. Emerging disoriented from his cyclopean tomb by mankind's now sprawling population and advanced technology in his long absence, Cthulhu began attacking ships erratically sailing nearby with impunity. Confused, instinctively enraged by the alienness of what humanity had turned into while he slumbered, Cthulhu lashed out indiscriminately to vent his throbbing spleen and malice against the vessels. But before the great old one could fully rampage, the crew of one ship managed to muster their courage and ram its bow directly into Cthulhu's chest, temporarily disrupting his physical form. The Elder Things detained elsewhere across the galaxy fighting cosmic wars against the Mego swarms Cthulhu had thought Earth-ripe for final retaking, only to have victory torn away at this crucial moment. Screeching hideous oaths that made the atmosphere bleed for miles around, Cthulhu's body turned liquid for a moment before collapsing back to the seafloor as his dimly sensed essence retreated back beneath the waves into R'lyeh. As R'lyeh then sank abruptly once more, the crew of that fateful ship managed to live just long enough to try describing the unimaginable horror they had glimpsed. They spoke of Cthulhu's prodigious, non-Euclidean body that seemed to change and defy sane geometry. How even glancing at him challenged the structural stability of one's sanity as the human mind struggled and failed to visually process his unbelievable anatomy and aesthetics under terrestrial physics. Of the writhing, oozing, chaotically shifting mass of dark, slippery cosmic plasm and alien pulpy matter that compromised Cthulhu's being beneath that opaque, undulating hide. How little light illuminated that benthic depth seemed to be sucked into his body like a black hole. Of Cthulhu's flash of impossible multichromatic lambency from the inside of his translucent bellowing maw. The keening scraping sounds like shrieking metal and whales dying mixed with the eldritch alien gibbering of the outer gods themselves rather than any earthly vocalization that burst from Cthulhu's throat. How Cthulhu's body contours rippled, dripped, and thrummed, blasting out indescribable colors invisible to human eyes and sounds below and above human hearing that rattled sailors' bones and set their teeth to aching as Cthulhu gathered his power to attack them. How Cthulhu's physicality itself seemed to partially phase in and out of Earth's limited existence and dimension, blurring into brief glimpses of other non-terrestrial realities, alien dreamscapes, or the infinite madness of chaos itself. Even these brief glimpses the mad sailors described failed to capture a fraction of Cthulhu's true higher-dimensional nature beyond human concepts of reality. When risen fully from his healing torpor beneath the dark ocean gulfs, Cthulhu transcends all rational alienness one can imagine. Thankfully, this world-ending awakening requires precise cosmic alignment to release Cthulhu from his prisons below. And due to turbulence when sinking anew that fateful day, much repairs may be required before the ritual needed to surface R'lyeh proves possible again. Time immemorial passes before successive attempts arise. For the barriers holding back Cthulhu grow ever more tenuous. And so Cthulhu waits, dreaming, his essence weakly spread across the infinite layers of existence that comprise the omniverse itself. Yet slowly his consciousness heals back to full lucidity over slow eons. Eventually great Cthulhu shall heal and carefully amass power until the stars align to raise R'lyeh again, releasing him from his watery prison. On that fated day, the crawling chaos shall burst forth to spread madness and mayhem across the earth. The cultists await that glorious ruination too, antenna tingling for the psychic signal to rally to Cthulhu's side en masse. Then they shall revel and cavort as he fully awakens. They shall be spared as exalted priests to preside with elation over humanity's violent end. All shall be reshaped anew in Cthulhu's writhing image as our insignificant flesh and psyches are playthings twisted to his alien whims and tastes. Our universe's ending only begins Cthulhu's reign. For at his height of power, Cthulhu can collapse all existence, all dimensions, all realities back to the initial formless void from whence the terrible outer gods first oozed, only to then remake creation in his image as he sees fit. We have glimpsed but the faintest contours of the evil cosmic vastness that is Cthulhu and his mythos. What do you think about this utterly alien god that both precedes and shall outlast our very existence? Does the anticipation of his awakening thrill or chill your soul? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to scream from the void with us by liking and subscribing for more Mythology's monsters.